Hello everyone, I'm Madals, this is Heart of the Swarm, and we have got two very good players in front of us. In the lower left position, as the red Protoss, we do have BabyKnight, and his opponent down in the bottom right is the blue Terran. It is HeroMarine, and I like HeroMarine. He's a really young guy, and he is qualified for the ESED UK Masters, and he is just awesome. I really am a fan of his. I think he's got some solid play, he's really dedicated, and just generally big plus. BabyKnight, of course, as well, is absolutely awesome, sends out some funny tweets, and is just generally a cool dude. So that is what I'll say about these two. But what I do know is it's a PvT, and that means Hellbats, that means Widow Mines, that means Sky Toss, Oracles, loads and loads of different strategies, and all of which are very, very fun. Specifically on this map, which is, for those of you who don't know, Newkirk. No, not Newkirk. Yes, Newkirk City. God, I keep forgetting things like that. I keep mixing up Newkirk City and Coral Compound, because I don't know why. No one ever plays on Coral Compound because it's got a base in the base, and it's just generally a weird map that nobody seems to like. But still, for some reason it's stuck in my head. I'm just like, whoa, this is a bit funky. So, anyway, we see barracks coming down. That's a good sign. It's in the base. No proxy 11-11 2 racks or anything like that. Meanwhile, for BabyKnight, a gateway is coming down. Again, this is a good sign, but what's this? We have a gas, so no one racks quick command center. It's going to be a little bit of aggression. Could it be a Reaper? It's possible. It's not the best map for Reaper because you only can really come up in here, or you can move along and come up in this sort of way. But generally speaking, it's okay, but they don't do as much damage as they used to, so not a super thing. Of course, Hellbats, Widow Mines, very, very good as well, so something else to keep an eye out for. But BabyKnight, he's scouting very early on, sending that probe on up in here, and he's being like, what you doing? Are you doing anything I'm not expecting? And then he's going to be like, okay, gas, racks, no second gas. Good. BabyKnight now relatively comfortable, has his own gas up. 2 drones in that gas though, important thing to note. And we do also have the Cybercore on its way. So nothing too shocking, nothing too extraordinary, yet the Reaper is going to be coming out. That's going to get some good scouting information. Of course, those of you who frequently visit my channel, and all of you hopefully do because I get games out daily, but will know the Reapers are a lot faster in Heart of the Swarm. They heal up out of combat very quickly. But they also have little pea shooters. They don't deal much damage at all, and apparently my HotS client there was just like, a Cybercore finished creating? I can't deal with that. Let's lag everything out. But enough about the lagging Cybercore. We do have a Nexus. So, quick expansion. A command center. Also now being thrown down. These two not committing to one base play. They're just happy to take all the expansions. They want all of the monies because then they can make all of the units. And that is obviously great news for us. So mid-game strategy is what we're looking for. Second gas now coming out for BabyKnight. Still only one gas out for HeroMarine the Reaper. Just floating over. I'm not really sure how you describe how Reapers move. Because on the one hand, I'm like, they obviously don't run. Their little legs do not touch the floor. But do they hover? Or, I guess you could, they don't really hover, they kind of fly, I guess. It's tough to say. That Stalker, though, is going to be able to get the kill. That poor Reaper, look at him die. That seems really painful way for a Reaper to die. They actually split in half. That is traumatic. That cannot be comfortable. But alas, HeroMarine, he's got his bunker up. He's got his additional barracks being added on, as well as the tech lab, probably for a quick stim. Still just happily mining away all that gas. There we go. Tech lab done. Stim started instantly. Great play by both of these two. We can see that both their APMs actually around the 170 average mark. So playing very quickly at this stage of the game. Meanwhile, for BabyKnight, 2 additional gateways. Mothership core not yet started. You might be thinking, why making a big deal about the Mothership core? 1, helps defense. 2, means with 3 gate pressure, you can come and really start poking up. It gives you vision of the high ground, which is very important. But it also means that potentially, should things not go your way, you can mass recall back. You can be absolutely safe should a counter attack come in or anything like that. HeroMarine, though, getting up his engineering bay, going to be starting on the +1 weapons very shortly. No upgrades yet for BabyKnight. He hasn't started his forge. Instead, opting for the robotics facility. That could be used for a variety of things. Most likely, just an observer coming out first. It's possible that it'll be a war prism, but I'm just not feeling it this game. Other things that is for, of course, is just to get down a robotics bay. Colossi in the mid game are great, and as such, it will just force HeroMarine to get out a couple of Vikings. So really, these two doing everything that I would expect. We do see that Stim and +1 will finish up at roughly the same time, give or take. Actually, no, they won't. What am I on about? Not at all. But yeah, you could go for a Stim +1 timing push with Marines and Marauders. The medevacs won't be out because the factory isn't even started yet, so there won't be medevacs out with that +1 Stim push if it does come, but if not, it's still a good way to defend against a lot of gateway pressure. Factory is now starting. We also have the Twilight Council coming out for BabyKnight, so potentially going to be starting to get out some blink fairly soon. No sign of the Mothership Core yet either, so that's quite surprising. A lot of Protoss players loving the Mothership Core. And whenever I don't see it, I'm just a bit like, why? Why haven't you got that out? It's a good unit. It's so solid and rounded, but some players just don't want to risk it. Now BabyKnight, though, he's showing us the Phoenix hallucinations are good scouting observers. Somewhat redundant apart from being invisible, but as I thought, the +1 Stim timing push coming across, this is always very scary for Protoss players, especially when they're sitting there with, are you ready for this? 5 Stalkers and 2 Zealots. The Stalkers just sitting up in the main base, clearly slightly concerned about a drop. We've got the Robotics Bay on its way out. The second Observer there as well. Did we see anything? The Stalker does know that this is coming along now, and it was just like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get out of here. I want to run away as quickly as I can because there's Marines and Marauders chasing me down. Combat Shield is still about 30 seconds away from completion, but that isn't a huge problem because, as we can see, for the moment at least, we have got HeroMarine coming up. A good spread on these units. They need to be very careful. A couple of force fields go down, preventing a few of those units from retreating. The Zealots die nearly instantly, though. We do have the +1 done. Stim has been used, I believe, but as we can see, just good amounts of damage being done there, and really BabyKnight held that off nicely. HeroMarine lost slightly more, but just really putting on the pressure, being like, you know what, I am happy to push into. Getting more barracks now behind this. The medevac's also going to be hitting the field very shortly. Meanwhile, for BabyKnight, he's got Blink half done. He's got his first Colossus on the way. Extended Thermal Lance not yet started, but that doesn't matter because he's getting out the +1 ground weapons. He's got a sizable, well, not a sizable, but a decent gateway force there ready to defend. He's fended off the early pressure quite easily, and as such knows that he's probably safe, at least for the near future. Meanwhile, neither player looking to prepare yet to take a third base, instead just adding on more production for HeroMarine. He's busy building up a nice force, and actually, it looks like he's going to go for another timing push with these medevacs, with the +1 infantry armor potentially. That'd be good, but the Observer sees all, just silently floating there, getting all the informations. The third base for BabyKnight has now just got started. He needs more Colossi out, though. The first one about to pop, but just one Colossus isn't enough to really save you from the whole what if the opponent stims up in and just deals a lot of damage very quickly. But it's going to be a quick tech switch for BabyKnight. He's got the Templar Archives, but will he get to that point of the game? We see the Marines and Marauders dealing a nice amount of damage. The +1 infantry armor is still 30 seconds away from completion. Did manage to force the cancel on the Nexus, though, and that is more than enough of an achievement for HeroMarine at the moment. He pulls back, waits for some more reinforcements, more medevacs already out. The Observer is seeing all, but coming back up to the main of BabyKnight, he is getting out. Well, he still hasn't even started Extended Thermal Lance, and that's a problem because that means that without Extended Thermal Lance, Colossi have 6 range. And do you know what else has 6 range? Marauders. That means they can get sniped off very easily. There is still just the one there. The medevacs trying to split the unit, trying to split as well to minimize the Colossi damage. But as we can see here, some good force fields are going down. So many Zealots. Their charge is not yet complete, though, and HeroMarine is forced into a full retreat. The supplies, only one difference between HeroMarine with the next warpin is next wave of production is going to pull ahead, getting some Vikings out. But unfortunately for him, BabyKnight, he is just sitting on the one Colossus, not getting any more out after that. The infantry doing the little dance of death. We see some good healing. The Colossus does get sniped off, and that was a massive win there for HeroMarine. He's now going to be able to clean up this gateway force very comfortably with these Marines and Marauders. Stim makes them ever so good. Boost being used on the medevac as well, just to allow it to keep up and deal some more damage. The sentries getting taken out. Storm getting researched right now by BabyKnight, but if he does make another Colossus, he's going to be in problems since he's got no splash damage in order to try and deal with this infantry force, and now boosting back away. Did some nice damage. We see a forward offensive blink. The Viking production seems to have stopped now for HeroMarine. That's good. He needs to be able to read what his opponent's doing and not overcommit to those Vikings. In terms of his vision, he's got none. No scans have gone off recently. All he knows is that third base is up, but for the Terran player, there is no third orbital command. Instead, SCV is getting pulled along with this push. It's a two-base all-in. He knows that he can push now. He knows that he can potentially win now without Storm, without any Colossi on the ground. And as such, this infantry force is going to be oh so strong. The scan going off to get a quick read. Sees the High Templar, but he doesn't know that Storm is still 20 seconds away from completion. The Stalker's taking a lot of damage. In come this infantry force, and they are going to be just keeping a good eye out on what those High Templar are going to be doing. The medevac energy, very low indeed. Been healing for such a long time. The Vikings even landing to get in on this. Storm is still about a second or two away from completion, but it is now done. The third Nexus, though, has gone down. It is dead. Widow Mines even coming out. A proxy factory in his opponent's base that is unbeknown, and here's the Widow Mine burrowing, and this is just such a good little play. I didn't even notice it, and I've got full vision. So BabyKnight, I don't believe he can see it, landing that barracks in the ideal place, then a factory in the ideal place rather, sees it there. The second Widow Mine now on its way out. We do see the Observer coming back, is going to grant vision without a high ground. Stalker's blinking up, will also give vision of that Widow Mine, so will now die. But unfortunately, the second Widow Mine already out. If it burrows up quickly, could potentially take out that Zealot, and that would be great news, but does need to burrow fairly soon indeed, and unfortunately is not going to do so. But we see the infantry pushing into the third base as BabyKnight have pulled back quite a lot of his army there, getting himself stuck in a corner. The Vikings landed, doing small damage. A Storm goes down, another Storm, but HeroMarine pulling straight out, trying to get into safety. But that third Storm, absolutely brilliant. The Immortal gets focused down, and it looks like HeroMarine is going to be able to take the game. He's at 140 supply to the 75 of BabyKnight, and now with the vision of the high ground granted by those medevacs, he is pushing through that third so effectively. BabyKnight does have a lot of money in the bank compared to Marine, but I don't think it's going to be enough because the standing army for the Terran player is absolutely enormous, and with that he is just powering his way through this force. Probes are being pulled, and as we can see, so much damage being done. The medevacs admittedly very low on energy, pretty much empty, but it's not going to make a difference. All of the gateway forces have pretty much died. Just a couple of Stalkers in the next wave of Warpins trying to do as much as they can, but BabyKnight down to sub 50 supply, 100 supply now behind his opponent, and that is going to be it. There is the GG, and HeroMarine has been victorious. So thank you one and all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my cast. Remember, like the video, leave a cool comment, and please subscribe, because I hope to see you all tomorrow for yet another new game. Bye for now.